It's my pleasure to introduce Joseph Elliott.
Well, I am Joseph Elliott. I'm majoring first I guess I should start off with, I'm the Technology and Maintenance Manager at Firestone Pacific Foods, which is a local facility that's over on Fruit Valley Road. And then I am a student at Clark. I'm going to be transferring to WSU for mechanical engineering. And I'm also going to be getting my degree in industrial maintenance and then automation, because it directly relates to what I'm currently doing and employed as. And that's a great opportunity to do at Clark, especially with the experience I'm going to gain from it. It's going to directly help me now as I continue my progress with my bachelor's in mechanical engineering. I'm really excited to talk about some of my experiences here, about how my experiences have been at Clark so far. I wasn't really sure how the enrollment process was going to be, and I wasn't really sure I was going to pay for it originally, but financial aid, really connected me really easily, and my sister was a student here, so she helped me, get enrolled and go through that process. And I was really surprised how easy it was to kind of get going. My background is I grew up in Chehalis, Washington, and I graduated from WF West. And after I graduated, I ended up moving to Arizona for 2 years. And when I was in Arizona, I did a lot of advanced computer networking with skills I had picked up with working for the school district. That was really helpful, and I felt really good about what I was doing, and I enjoyed it, but it wasn't really challenging, and it paid pretty well, but again, it didn't make me feel very fulfilled in doing it. So then I decided to decide to travel over to California, and I lived in LA for about 6 months, mostly to visit family and kind of reconnect with them. And that was a good experience just to get the cultural diversity of living, and traveling a little bit. But I really missed the Northwest. So when I came back to the Northwest, I think the biggest decision that I made that just really influenced, where I am today, is I decided to start attending Clark College. One of the first things that really stuck with me when I first got here was a mind-body health class that I took, where I met one of my good friends, Patrick Johnson, that's actually came to hear me speak. And he's been a super supportive role in all of this. The next thing that really, I guess, gave back to me and helped build me up was during career days. I had been searching for a job for quite a while, and I was very particular about what I wanted to do. And I was going to go to career days with the expectation of starting to network, even though it was my first quarter, with some employees at Boeing to try to get an internship or start getting my name out there and market myself. And what I ended up getting out of it, after attending a lot of the career week, going from everything from there's job searching with social media, how to kind of build up your LinkedIn profile, how to refine my resume. I had a lot of these things, but they weren't very refined. So a lot of those services really helped and built that up. And I also got to do some mock interviews, which was very helpful. But the day of the career fair, I ended up finding a place that, they had pictures of fruit up, and I wasn't really quite sure what it was or how it would relate to what I was doing. But they invited me over, and they really wanted to talk to me, and they asked, well, what are you majoring in? Well, mechanical engineering. Well, we have a position for you where you'd be calibrating our machines, and it might be a really good, fit for you as far as to get some background experience. And I wasn't quite sure how it was going to really transfer to mechanical engineering, but I decided to give them a resume anyways. And I'm really glad that I did, because now that I've been there for a year, I went from a calibration technician to the technology and maintenance manager in a fairly short amount of time. And not only has that been a great opportunity for me to learn about a lot of this advanced technology and machinery and equipment, but it's actually given me the opportunity I've got in a position where I've been able to come back, and I contacted some professors at Clark College because I needed some more help. And I wanted somebody that had a good mechanical background that would understand what we were doing. And I was actually able to hire somebody from the Clark community, and I'm actually looking forward to and trying to set up an internship at my work that I would allow me to hire other mechanical, based industry, degrees. But I was able to hire Calvin Stickley, which is also here tonight, which I thought was kind of cool that they, both people I got to talk about of the Clark community I've been able to create an opportunity for, but they've been able to get back to me and really help me out. So I'm very glad about that. Some of the things that I kind of highlight of why it was such a great opportunity that Clark connected me with my employer, Firestone Pacific Foods, was some of the experiences they have given me. They've paid for a lot of training for me, One example was they paid for ammonia safety training, which is about a $7 day course. That was very kind of them. But on a daily basis, I get to meet with different technicians of x-rays and metal detectors, and we have very, very intricate mechanical, packaging equipment. Some of it costs anywhere from, $250,000 to $500,000 that I get to work on a daily basis, which is a really cool experience because while I wasn't sure how I was going to relate to mechanical engineering to begin with, what I realized is in that industry, when I work with engineers every day, and I'm constantly looking at drawings and troubleshooting these systems that are pneumatic and hydraulic and just all these intricate designs and troubleshooting logic systems, that is engineering, and I get to deal on it with a hands-on basis every day, and it's been such a great just opportunity for me. The other thing that I've really got out of Clark, and it's part of the industrial maintenance program that I'm going in, is it's giving me a background in a little bit of fabrication. So one thing that I've been able to do, even though I haven't been in the course for long, is learning how to turn metal in our machining courses. There's a lot of engineers that know how to design parts, but they don't know how they're manufactured. So they design parts that can't be made. So I'm really glad that I'm at Clark, because if I was at a university right now, I probably wouldn't have the opportunity to go for another program that is giving me a better background that I think will really give me an edge on my overall goals. In my future, I'm looking forward to expand the opportunities I can give to Clark students and work with developing that internship program to cycle more people in and allow them to have the great opportunity that I've had. And I'm just really looking forward to, building that up. And I'm really grateful that my employer, Firestone Pacific Foods, has been so flexible in allowing me to work a full load at school and also working full-time at my current employer. The other thing that I wanted to mention that I'm also really excited about, that's just kind of a background on me too, is I'm also a very avid runner, so I get to run my first marathon next week, which I'm really excited. So while I may not have a lot of free time, and it was actually, to be able to do this, especially on a short notice, was, a big time commitment for me. I'm very glad and grateful to, spend some time to practice, just giving back and displaying some gratitude about how thankful I am for the career services at Clark in general and the community, the people that I've met here, and then the opportunities I've been able to give back to the community through that. So I believe that is most of my story, and I don't want to go over, so I will sum it up, and thank you guys so much for your time. Do you guys have any questions?
Excuse me. Well, you've got a great story. It's obvious that you're going to go a lot farther too. I get you in California, and then you want to come back to the Northwest. Now, how did you settle on Clark College in Vancouver?
Well, that's kind of a funny story. One of the main reasons why I wanted to come back to Vancouver, because I knew I wanted to live in Washington. And I knew I didn't want to go back to Chehalis because there wasn't the opportunities that I thought would really inspire me to grow. And I had some experiences in high school where I may have had a girlfriend that lived in Portland, so I traveled down here every weekend for about 3 years. So I knew there was a lot of opportunity down here. What I did not expect, and it was actually through talking through my brother-in-law a lot, he was a dentist and he went to dentistry school. He was telling me some of the most important schooling that he ever received was in his first 2 years when he spent at a community college. He's like, that's the knowledge that I use every day. And so it made me rethink. I'm like, I might be starting at a community college, and while it wasn't my initial choice when I was going through school, thinking about, I'm going to go to a community college, I'm really glad that I do because, for one, Clark seems like an excellent school, and I'm like living proof that it has done extremely well for me. It has allowed me to do things for my education that there would be no way I could ever achieve in a university. And yet I still get, this great foundation, and I can build on that at a university. So that's kind of, I don't know, go ahead.
So where do you see yourself in 10, 20 years from now?
In 10 to 20 years. From now, well, I'm hoping to spend at least the next 15 to 20 years taking off some of the load off of one of the main people that I work with at work is the Vice President of Operations. He spent a lot of time working on a lot of projects for the company, and he did all the maintenance management, all the technology management, and a lot of the other things I get to do is cost analysis, which is kind of cool. I've been able to help every department in some way, shape, or form. which has been a great experience because it just makes me very well-rounded. But in the 5 to 10, maybe 15, 20, after that, I really want to start a firm that designs UAVs and aircraft, because I was originally thinking about becoming an aerospace engineer, but I decided to go into mechanical because it's so more flexible. And I really like school so much. After I get my bachelor's, I'm really looking kind of into getting my master's. But I'm looking to get Firestone in a place that's more self-sustaining, where I put my time in there, like the great guys that I work underneath, and that, you know, maybe some of the interns that I hire can stay there and keep developing that program and get it going. So.
I have a comment, and one, you're super intriguing. I'm just intrigued listening to you. And you remind me of, like, in hindsight, when you get older, you look back and you say, boy, if I could have done things differently, like you're doing all the things the right way, so you won't have to look back. I'm like, man, like, gosh, I wish I was that sharp at that age. But like you're leveraging like the interconnectedness of all these different spaces that you're operating in, and you're creating some really cool opportunities for yourself to set yourself up in the future. So you're doing exactly like what I tell my kids to do, or tell people to, you know, like in hindsight, like, man, like he's on the track for what you won't ever be in a space if you continue the track that you're on. You're looking back and going, man, I should have did something a little bit differently. Being really smart and leveraging those spaces of interconnectedness, and that will suit you well.
And one of the things I want to mention really quick is one of my main goals too, as far as in the 15, 20 years, one of my largest goals in life is I really want to be a motivational speaker. And I've always wanted to do that, but I never had, you know, all great motivational speakers, they have a good story to tell. Like, they have a reason why, that credibility of why you should listen to them. And I feel very fortunate because I feel like I'm developing that story right now. And even though I'm very busy, I still want to make time to do that because I enjoy, you know, motivating other people and helping be supportive of other people, because I've been very fortunate to have people be very supportive and motivating towards me.
You're on the right track.
There's not a doubt that you're motivational.
Right.
Busy, let's see, you work full-time, you go to school full-time, and you train for a marathon in your spare time, which takes hours on hours. I assume you don't sleep, so.
4 to 5 hours.
Okay. I'm really impressed with what you said here. I look at a different perspective. My degree is in mechanical engineering. That's where I spent my career. And while you don't have your degree yet, everything you just described, in my eyes, makes you a mechanical engineer. You are doing the work. I mean, if you're hiring people. You know, I really appreciate what you're saying about this well-rounded and the difference between just learning the theory and applying it, because it's one of the veins in engineering is knowing how to design something that can't be made. You're hitting all the points, and you're just starting down this educational path, so it's just phenomenal. I'm really excited to see where you end up. How did you choose mechanical engineering?
I decided mechanical engineering because and I kind of originally lately went over this, I was going to do aerospace because I wanted to do aviation. And then I realized that mechanical, especially when I go for, I do plan on starting with a bachelor's, but I really want to go for a master's and maybe long-term PhD, not super common in engineering, but I definitely feel like I could do it. It's very fulfilling to me. I have computers, the science, that down in and out. It's what I've already went out, I was really successful at it, and it's just, you know, it doesn't feel super fulfilling to me because it's too easy. My background as far as with computers was something where by the time I was 10, I could do everything hardware-wise, repair any hardware issue with a computer. By the time I was about 13 or 14, any software issue, remove viruses, fix the registry, anything on a personal computer. And then I was very fortunate in high school, I was able to do networking, so very fortunate, and I decided engineering's, you know, that's a pretty tough challenge, so I'll take that.
It's a great blend. My career is with Hewlett-Packard, so I did the blend of exactly what you're talking about. And I'm quite sure you'll find that those skills that you've learned for your networking and all your electronics, you're going to apply in mechanical engineering. I would not be surprised to see you shift a little bit in your emphasis when you go to some of your more advanced degrees. You may find there's some very unique packaging that puts all of those together, because you have a very unique skill set between what you've learned so far and what you've learned experientially.
And I think you won't be satisfied with the traditional degrees as you look at what you're doing with the industrial maintenance and actually your experience. So we would love to hear from you again.
Absolutely.
well, maybe I can do a follow-up at some point if you guys ever request it.
And I think he's exactly what we want to motivate our students, because they don't listen to us when we get to leadership, even though we finally learned it all. So thanks.
Right.
I would always love more opportunities to do speaking and any type of, I would like to design a workship eventually, but I don't know if I have quite enough material, but I'd love to have more opportunities.
I'm sure there will be.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Good luck.